Ladies and gentlemen, what we might have just witnessed is the greatest student film ever made. So, let's talk Malcolm and Marie. We're going to start with the good, okay? Let's get the elephants out of the room to get to the heart of the problem, because we do have a problem. The one location film is the type that most filmmakers don't even have the balls to make. We don't even see them that much anymore. And what it's saying is essentially that we're going to put so many limitations on our story that the only thing that we can use to really engage with the audience are the characters. In this case, only 2 characters. That's very exciting. It makes character king, but it makes it so that you might also fall into the trap of making a story that feels like a play. This does fall into that trap, but it's not the thing that's really wrong with it. The movie also clearly has things to say, and it goes about talking about those things with very bleak subject matter, but it does so seriously, sometimes funny, but it does so very respectfully, so it does that very, very well. Here's the point that I think makes talking about this movie most interesting, is that on the technical side, there are things you could not disagree with. So the writing, I would say, is impressive. The acting is incredible. The soundtrack is energetic. The photography is beautiful and very moving. So while all of these individual elements you cannot really insult, there's something hollow about the movie. Marie makes a case at one point about the value of authenticity, and how if you don't have it, it makes you less believable. That might actually be the best review of this movie. So when you walk away from the movie, it doesn't feel like it's about a couple, because it's not about a couple. Sure, there's a lot of context in the speeches talking about how they were a couple, how they started as a couple. You can technically say it's a movie about a couple, but it's not a movie about a couple. It's a movie about 2 very good actors giving very, very long speeches. The first big hint that there is something wrong here is the length of these speeches. Like, you must have felt it if you saw it. You think that it's about to end. They get the point where it's like, yeah, no, that's perfect. Just move on. And it's like, oh, 5 more minutes to go. They just won't stop. The movie has no room to breathe. Like, a more efficient edit would have definitely helped this thing. We stumble in and out of these fights in a way that's so clumsy. And for a movie that preaches authenticity and really needs it because it's a movie about only 2 people, if our fights and our conversations are stumbling on themselves and doesn't feel real, then yeah, no, the thing's gonna flop regardless of the great acting and the great writing. Malcolm and Marie is respectable, but like I said, it's like the greatest student film ever made, because you've got the director trying to prove that he's brilliant. You've got the cinematographer taking 3-minute long takes, running him back and forth on a dolly. You've got the 2 main characters who are acting their way right off of a cliff. Everyone is proving that they're very, very good at their jobs. But just because everyone comes together and shows that they're good at what they do individually does not mean that you're going to get something that feels like it's of a whole. And what we have is a movie that I think is going to feel confusing because everyone is performing at a high level, but not together. They're just doing their own thing. It's essentially an exercise in all different kinds of style. And I like the style, but this movie and the couple don't really have much of a point. It looks like a very good movie, but it doesn't feel like one.